Well, hello, everybody. How y'all feeling today? We got a good little race going on here. For us, we've got a little bit of spoiler open here between matt7898 and tstew14, two like, talented runners here. They're quite good at this game, so we're gonna have a go on that. My name is Cloud here. I'm gonna be joined in the booth here tonight by Clear Mouse. We're gonna put on a little show for you. How you doing there, miss?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Good morning, Days. Good evening, rando time zone people. Maybe a great early morning to you, EU folks watching. Yeah, as you mentioned, Days, this gonna be quite a match. Matt and Tstew, absolutely no strangers to Link to the Past Randomizer. Very high performers, high execution runners. It's gonna be quite good. So I believe after qualifiers, Matt is the 4 seed going into brackets for top 16. Which makes Tstew the 12th seed. But I mean, seeding, always take it with a big grain of salt. May not also necessarily match, but I mean, like, everyone in top 16 is ridiculously good. Like, it is like every single match is just going to be like super tight, and even like the smallest mistakes can certainly cost you quite a bit.
Yeah, that's what we're all kind of expecting. We're kind of expecting just like the very end of it here, just being you're gonna come down to the last second here. As interestingly enough, we have Matt going and picking up 20 rupees from the gate here out of Uncle's house.
Yeah, immediate divergence, and this is actually kind of interesting. So great, right? So for the record, runners do of course get the 15-minute study period. That's why I kind of see Tstew's timer is 15 minutes and 20 some seconds. So they know where everything is, but they got to construct everything. Which so Tstew looks like he is hula hanning potentially. Which makes me think that money is, or at least early money for resources, is going to be a little bit tighter. Or maybe there's just no money and they need, or early pod money or something. And Tstew is just like, you know what? I'm gonna get 225 rupees. I don't have to worry for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and I'm kind of with you here. It's like I kind of make a point of not going ahead and looking at the spoiler log, even though it's fully available, because I want to be surprised and see exactly what we're gonna get here. So we're gonna see Matt go ahead, and he's just gone ahead straight through race game. We're gonna find out that he came all the way over here to grab a fire rod.
Okay, that's pretty useful. Yeah, Matt also, I would say, got some pretty decent luck with those 50-50 bushes, right? He ended up getting farmed out 3 bombs, which honestly is a really good track record for that. Tstew ended up buying bombs. I was also going to say, though, who has seen at least part of the spoiler log is our lovely and wonderful tracker tonight, Lady Laura Linda. She has already pre-marked all of the crystals and pendant prizes for us, and as well as the entry medallions that we need for Meyer and Turtle Rock, because, runners out the spoiler log, we're probably not going to get a map check from them anytime soon, or, if at all. So very big props to Lady Laura Linda for doing all the work for us.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it is very important that we have somebody who actually knows what the heck's going on here, and is not completely surprised by every little thing. It's like that hook shot sitting there in the chicken house. There is Tstew finally gets those mini Moldorms to behave there, and gets a glove, gets a hammer, gets a couple more bombs to pick up.
Okay, so this is very interesting. So Mini Moldorm basically just had like all of our Dark World access, minus like, the Pearl, which yeah, South Shore is a good idea.
Yeah, definitely here. And this is one thing for Matt. I think this route is going to be a little bit smoother on his side here, because he gets to come into Mini Moldorm Cave, not even mess around with bombs and Moldorm jukes and all that good stuff. He's just going to take a hook shot and knock them all down real quick.
Yeah, and looks like actually, so with the glove, Tstew's already, kind of going into the back of escape, and so of course we need bombs to get back there, but luckily Matt, take maybe a little bit a higher variance at the very beginning, right, trying to farm out those bombs with the 50-50 chances, got paid off, and hey, look, we got more bombs in Mini Moldorm Cave.
Yeah, what a shock, right? Here is well, now let's both head up towards the castle together here. So Tstew, with that Houlihan early there, has got the money advantage. Matt is still down on cash in. I'm kind of curious exactly when this money situation is going to come into play, because I'm
Yeah.
looking at Matt making his way over to the uncle area while tstew is ignoring it completely. So what is Matt looking to grab here? We're going to grab a heart container, a little bit of magic. That fire rod is now much more,
Mm-hmm.
useful, and that's all.
Yeah, yeah, actually, yeah, maybe a little bit, of a heads up, like, and also like a very valid, difference, right? Yeah, you mentioned, right, so we saw Matt get the hook shot, sorry, the fire rod from Maze Rays, nice tree pulls, by the way, as well. So, with the fire rod, Matt's, trip over to basically do anything, here is gonna be able to just use the fire rod to one-shot things. Tstew, a little bit ahead of Matt in the Hyrule Castle, pulls out the mirror, which is a really, really nice item. So no more death warping, intentional or not.
And you know what's even nicer, quite honestly, is that the getting that mirror didn't require you to go all the way down to like Zelda's cell or
Oh yeah,
something.
yeah, for sure.
So for completely ridiculous times here, is tstew is gonna have a time in this Dark Cross here. He's got no sword, he's got no
Uh,
fire rod, he's got no way to do it. Now
oh,
I
good
understand
point.
completely why Matt ran over to go get that magic right now, because
Mhm.
I don't even know where tstew is. Okay, so he's
Yeah.
in Dark Cross right now.
Oh
So
my
he's got to
gosh.
land this thing before the snake gets
Oh
him two
no,
times.
Tstew,
And there's
Tstew. Oh my
one.
gosh. Oh
He's dead.
no. Oh, that is. Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah,
See, right.
you could see the reaction there from the cameras.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, having the camera there means he's got to have to go back and he's going to try this again. This could spiral out of control.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, right. I mean, right, we talk about, runners, of course, of this caliber have done these dark rooms, hundreds and thousands of times. But, again, spoiler is actually under a lot of pressure as well, right? You're kind of committing yourself to low percent, and well, those ropes and snakes and rats, and especially if you can't see, they can actually take you down quite a bit. Oh yeah,
and
very
that's
very much
Quake.
prerequisite. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's Quake for to get into TR. So that is something you'll have to do later. I'm a little surprised that that maybe tstew's
Uh-oh,
is
uh-oh, uh-oh.
prioritizing this as much as he is, because yeah, he goes down again. Uh, you figure maybe you come back a little bit later when you've got like
Mm-hmm.
access to the pyramid or something. You can mirror on top of it. I mean, but instead we're gonna go for the third way in there.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I mean,
he's really going for this.
yeah. I mean, he's certainly tenacious about this. And maybe he just thinks that this is maybe his best time to do it. Maybe he's just very determined. But certainly, it is definitely quite difficult, as we've kind of seen on his part, right? Versus Matt, where he has made his life significantly easier with Fire Rod and the hook shot, being able to kind of at least light some dark rooms.
Yep, and at this point for tstew, you're just kind of hoping that maybe the fairy drops are gonna come in your favor here. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it looks like we're into Dark Cross now. This is the annoying one, because this is the one you got to try to figure out. Wait, no, we're into Dark
Okay,
Cross.
right. The
Okay,
B1 says that we're in the dark. Okay, so it looks like he got past the first set of ropes, and now yeah, he's gotta kind of find his way to the chest. Perfect,
all
perfect.
right,
Yeah.
first try,
Exactly,
never
exactly.
any
We
doubt.
got it, yeah. And yeah, we talk about, high pressure situations. So I guess for what it's worth, because this is a spoiler log race, runners know they have the logs of where everything is. They are also allowed to watch the restream. They're allowed to watch their opponent's stream if they wish. So they can always get, if they want, an extra pulse, as to where their opponent is. So uh, if you want the pressure, if you want the knowledge, certainly could be helpful or harmful. Just
Yeah,
more pressure to add to yourself.
I mean, there's not a whole lot. One of the things with spoiler is that, yeah, like you mentioned there, if you want, you can. I mean, everything that you couldn't do in a normal race, you can kind of do. In this
Yeah.
one, like you're in go mode from the word start. Everything else is just ready to go. All you got to do is
Mhm.
just basically ask yourself, how much can you handle? Like how much are
Yeah.
you willing to bear? Are you gonna get that? You know,
Yeah.
it's a rough
Mhm.
decision, honestly.
It is actually, and in fact, actually, so the fact that Tstew, kind of came over here to Kakariko, after he has basically Dark World access, right? We're kind of seeing Matt traverse the village of Outcasts, getting those boots, always great to see, along with in chess games. Tstu forgetting. He's taking a long way. But, you know, I think for what it's worth, right, it actually seemed like if Tstu was actually able to get the Dark Cross, like, you know, first try, maybe even second try, quite efficient, you know, being able to combine Kakariko and Village of Outcasts.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, no, I mean that's the key there. You can see his thought process. His thought process makes perfect sense here as Matt goes ahead and decides, yeah, I would like a sword, and bonks
Yeah,
one off the
perfect.
library.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, I mean, what better thing to go with the boots than the sword? I mean, now, and we actually kind of saw, you know, without what Tstu is demonstrating right now that Matt was unfortunately had to do as well, is that this is what happens when you don't have boots or a sword. You get to
Yep,
lift a bunch of bushes in order to try and
a
get through.
whole bunch of bushes, and it's gonna be tons of fun, and everybody enjoys it, and it's fantastic.
Wait, was that sarcasm, by the way, Days? Did I heard your
Uh,
voice?
might have been.
No,
Sorry.
okay, maybe just a little. All right.
Yeah, so we're gonna make our way through here because Matt smartly, where he decided to mirror to get his sword there, didn't jump down and lock himself out of the behind the Mitz rocks there, so he's able to come back into Thieves Town and just immediately start dashing his way through here.
Yeah. I mean, and you know, so he's on 5 hearts. You know, it's actually, and I think that's actually 1 extra heart container because Tstu didn't go to Uncle or the secret pass in order to get his 5th heart container. Should hopefully be okay. He does have a sword. He does have the boots. He does have the ice rod. Nice and free. So hopefully Matt's gonna be okay. Tstu might have, you know, a little bit of a slightly rougher time, just because, you know, most enemies in Thieves Town do 2 hearts, so maybe Matt with that extra 5th heart container might actually have a little bit of a nicer buffer.
Yeah, definitely.
On 4.
I mean, being on 4 coming through Thieves Town is basically you get caught in the wrong combination there, and you can be dead in an instant there. Where if you have 2 hearts, you know, if you have 5 hearts there, you can survive the occasional, you know, mistake.
Or bullying, right?
Yeah, or some sort of things there is
Matt showing his appreciation for the Quake Medallion.
He really wanted to get rid of that bunny beam. That's all I can say. Yeah, the bunny beam needed to go.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he was just so enthusiastic about everything. Good thing we probably don't need magic for Thieves Town at this point. He does, of course, have a bottle of the fairy, and I think he got that from C-Shape House, which Tstu looks like also he's going to pick up. Oh man, some niceties here in Thieves Town as well. We got the flute and the attic chest as well. So very very efficient, being able to just mirror after we're done and activate that flute.
What do you think, Claire Mouse? You think we're gonna get this whole thing done in under 45 minutes?
Oh man, that you know, you mentioned we're basically in go mode from 15 minutes. So yeah, let's hope for a nice seed. And in fact, actually, that'll be quite the breath of fresh air, considering like the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 seeds we've seen in brackets have been pretty dang terrible. You know, I think like the one that was most recent, like Zelda versus Asder, was over an hour actually. So, which just goes to show you how terrible some spoiler seeds can be.
Yeah, no, they can be miserable if you get the wrong placement. I mean, the one nice thing about spoiler is that going into it, you get to know that, oh, the placement is pretty bad this time. Okay, sure.
Yeah. I have yet to see a scene, by the way, where in spoiler log where I don't say, oh my gosh, thank goodness I have the spoiler log. Like, it's just like, how the heck would you play this if you didn't have if you didn't have the log like sitting in front of you?
It would take longer.
Yeah, that's a great way. That's a great outlook. I absolutely agree.
You know, but so I mean, both guys here, I mean, you've got to be feeling the pressure here, but I mean, Matt has done this blind fight maybe once or twice in his life, so he just immediately just goes ahead and takes him out, no problem there. Stays on script perfectly, not even a single little ding. Well done there, and he's gonna take his first crystal.
Yeah, already on the board. You know, Matt, of course, a 124 runner. So yeah, he probably knows a thing or two about killing blind with a sword.
Yep, a little bit. I mean, that is one of those things there. When you get to both of these guys' level, you learn very quickly the way to do that, and it's just, man, it is both of these guys are doing really, 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 really good.
Yeah, yeah, and right. I mean, right. And you mentioned, I think at the very beginning too, like, there's a lot of pressure. We actually, how often do you, willingly come into Thieves Town, with 4 or 5 hearts? Probably not often, right? And it's I think kind of like the small things that maybe runners might take a bit for granted. It's just like, if you normally by the time you're coming here in the Dark World, more often than not, you probably have like 7, 7, 8, 9 hearts, right? Blue mail, bunch of safeties that you just kind of picked up from random opening chests. So you're feeling pretty comfortable, but then suddenly it's like, oh well, I'm coming here, and then you might get a bit nervous because maybe your health is a little on the lower side, right? It can
Exactly.
really mess you up.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're coming in here with like an entrance level or like a
Yeah,
inverted
yeah.
level health here, and that is just it's never a comfortable scenario. As we're gonna stick Mitts in King's Tomb because game wants
Classic.
to be
Yeah,
funny.
classic.
That's a good time right there.
Yeah, you're talking about entrance. That is a very interesting thing to do too, by the way.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. Of course, you throw it in King's Tomb, but in entrance, the King's Tomb would be somewhere completely different here. So
Yeah, that's
we
true
are we are going. Man, there is a lot of stuff in the Sphere Zero today.
Yeah, that's actually a
Interesting.
very good point. Yeah, yeah. So tstew doesn't quite stay on script. He does end up getting hurt, but no, I mean absolutely nothing to it. He claims his first crystal just a little slightly after Matt. Oh, of course.
Wow.
Bo and Saha and half magic, man. All right. Well, I think Matt is pretty set for Pod and Easter. Although Pod is a pendant, so maybe we don't need anything. Given that he is only here already in the light world, means that we're probably not gonna have to visit Pod today.
Yeah, that's a really good point because if you have the mirror, you're going to come in here with the additional Dark World portal there, so you could go immediately to Pod. But it doesn't look like that's something we're going to be doing here. So.
Yeah, I mean, so for what it's worth, both runners do have the fire rod. So if they did have to eventually go kill Helmasaur, like the turtle room won't be as bad, but certainly does potentially maybe mitigate the I guess necessity of that lamp, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's one of those things that bringing the fire rod in there, you wouldn't necessarily be concerned at that point because you just you walk in the door, take 2 steps to your right, and then shoot your fire rod. Guys at this level know how to do that without any problem.
Exactly.
Here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so tstew about to grab his mitts, like I think you were about to say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it seems like at least like the front part of the scene, at least on tstew's side, doing Dark Cross basically with next to nothing. It was probably seemingly like the most challenging part so far. With that fire rod, with the boots, with the sword, with the mirror, we got a lot more safeties. Speaking of, we got a little bit more divergence here on tstew's side. Looks like the old man might actually have something good. Otherwise, I don't see tstew making the pretty extra time investment in order to rescue him, even though he is a very upstanding citizen.
It's true, and to be completely honest, I'm actually slightly concerned about the amount of health that tstew has.
That is
right now.
You're not wrong.
It's these cabbages do not care what your plans are. If they decide to hit you, there's not a whole lot you can do about it right now, and that's 2 hits away from having a really bad day. As we're gonna pick up a master sword, so that was obviously something. And man, we're just good idea to leave.
Yeah. Actually, this is actually a very interesting point, actually. So it looks like tstew wants the extra sword for potentially some, taking a little bit earlier investment for time. So the rest of his game is going to be a little bit nicer in terms of boss fights, at least. tstew...
he doesn't die.
Yeah, a good thing there are hearts back here. It's a Hashima. That's very important.
Yeah, definitely there. So he's gonna go from oh god, this looks really terrifying to oh no, he can handle this. He's completely fine. All right. So we know that Bombos is our entry medallion for Misery Mire right now, but we don't know where that is currently.
Yeah.
So let's go into desert instead and grab something, maybe just a crystal, but something at least.
Right. In fact, you're right. So, the big key has to be somewhere. Whether it's boots locked or not doesn't really matter since we do have boots. But go ahead again. Matt and tstew both know where the big key is. That's what they have to hunt for first. And then we're just gonna have to see if there is anything else of value here in deserts.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to see here. So far, that's our small key to go get our big key from the, I guess it's vanilla-ish side, at least, as tstew takes a moment to go, oh, great, where's the big key again?
Yes.
And good on him for stopping there and just immediately going off and just going, instead of running all the way over there.
Big key in desert is vanilla today, but but I mean, like, it's sometimes, again, right, like, this is part of the pressure of us playing spoiler. It's sometimes you only get 15 minutes and those 15 minutes just fly by, right? So sometimes you're just like, oh, okay, I need to go into Eastern to go beat the dungeon or to get whatever, right? And then sometimes, like the big key chest looks really similar to the big chest, and then that could be quite different.
Now I am curious right now. Now Matt is ahead right now, and I'm curious if he has peaked at all at where tstew currently is, because tstew's having a bit of a day right now, and if he knows that he's ahead, he went in to go pick up that blue mail, and I'm a little surprised that he did that, but at the same time, if you know you're ahead,
good point.
That's the advantage of being ahead, is you can go ahead and you can get those safeties if they're just a little bit out of the way, whereas tstew, I almost expect to just completely ignore that blue mail and just go, I've got to run.
Yeah, no, that's actually a really, really good point. It is right. So if you think you're behind, maybe it's better of you to try and cut a few corners if you can. But again, if you're ahead, we can smooth out some of those corners. Maybe take an extra little scenic route or two. Especially if it's gonna make the rest of your seat a little bit safer too.
I mean, 5 hearts on blue mail versus 4 hearts on green mail is a massive difference.
Yeah, pretty big difference.
All right, but tstew takes down his Armos Knights there with a little bit of the Ice Armos setup there, as Matt's going to go into his Landmo fight there, and 6 shots takes them all down there, so that's crystal number 3 for Matt as well.
Yeah, I mean, and as you mentioned, Gomo from the word start, these guys are just, pounding down those crystals. Amazing how fast things can go when you know where things are.
Right, and
we got some more divergence potentially. Is tstew going to Ice Palace of all places? Holy cow!
Is this Ice Palace? Yeah, this is Ice Palace. I was about to say, is this Ice Palace or is this something like Waterfall Fairy? I
know, dude. I mean, Matt. Matt doesn't have flippers. tstew, remember, he doesn't have flippers. But Matt was kindly reminded that he doesn't. But yeah, actually, Days, look at this difference, right? Matt is going into Ice Palace with blue mail and 5 hearts. tstew is on. You said 4 hearts green mail. This is not a safe place for him.
tstew is on a one-hit kill cold stare right now.
Yep.
That's what he's on. So with that in mind, knowing what we know about where the other swords are, there's another sword just sitting on Desert Ledge. I'm a little surprised that we didn't go and get that, but I can maybe understand that if it turns out that you've got Samaria and Bombos in here, and then you're gonna just try to basically double up on this. Oh man, this is that really went poorly. This is a really
scary front of Ice Palace here for tstew. Unfortunately, didn't quite get the switch hit. Did end up getting both Doubtfuls, which is great. But as you said, Taste, 4 hearts, a green mail is really not a safe place for tstew.
Now he did pick up the fairy. That is true. Out of that. Yeah. Because I was thinking that just because, man, this bomb jump, you better get it right the first time. He does. Good job on tstew's side, because dang, man, that was no joke there. Smartly.
What happened on Matt's side?
To be honest, I did not see.
He mirrored. Okay.
Feeling.
He got all the way basically to that
Oh,
Oh, he
he's
ran
out
out
of
of bombs. Oh
bombs,
my
out of
gosh.
bombs, out of hover.
Wow. Holy cow. All right. Yeah.
Ooh,
Thanks.
no.
That is actually something that I mean that's really unfortunate for Matt, but I mean that's something actually potentially that T2 kind of needed in order to try and claw back some time here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Wow.
that's a huge thing
Mhm.
for him. Well, I mean, you get into these situations where something like that happens, and it is going to be, um, it's going to be, you need something from your opponent there to help you. As T-Stew, unfortunately, is going to have to go back upstairs here, just because, when you do the bomb jump there, you don't have another small key, so you're going to have to go up in here and get one.
Yeah, actually, and I think I'm just even from like past, just watching Spoiler Log, Ice Palace is actually surprisingly one of those dungeons that has actually tripped up quite a few runners. Just because of the small key placement, right? People kind of, a lot of like people emphasize like pod, right? It's like okay, in pod I gotta find which small keys in order to get to the back, but Ice Palace is actually surprisingly tricky.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, and Ice Palace, like in spoiler, you really get to see the difference in the kind of the way the game is designed, right? Because you get through, when you're playing the regular game, Moth is a pain in the butt, right?
Oh yeah, uh-huh.
Right,
Oh,
but
100%.
Dark World enemies, they do 2 hearts of damage. It's not that big a deal. Everything, you're gonna be okay most of the time. Well, then come into Ice Palace and meet Cold Stare, and then the very first time
I
that
don't
you
want
make
to
the
be Cold
slightest
Stare, Dave.
mistake, the time you make the slightest mistake there, you lose 4 hearts, and all of a sudden you're just going, oh, okay, this is really hard. So, man, so here we go with T-Stew. So
I
he's
am
on
impressed,
this.
by the way, for Tstew getting that powder. I don't know if it was intentional. Like, we don't know if anything's on Magic Bat, but the fact that he got it and he got himself to full health, so he can basically just use the Fire Rod here is, I mean, really great thinking. Holy cow, Tstew, nice job.
Great fight. Weird
Wow,
spooky
dude.
on at least one of those hits there. I think T-Stew shot the wall, and the Cold Stare Puff on the very bottom there decided, all right, yep, that's close enough.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna take whatever we can get, with Cold Stare. You said, when we get to meet Cold Stare, T-Stew's like, please stay away. I don't want anything to do with you. Please say hi to my Fire Rod instead.
Yeah, no kidding. So I'm seeing some calls in chat here for a Cane on Magic Bat, which that very well could be the case here, or it's going to be something hilarious like Bombos on Magic Bat, leading to Cane and Cane and Meyer.
Hilarious, right? Okay, well, we might have different definitions, Dave.
I mean, it would be funny. It would be funny because
yeah.
I'm sitting here today, Claire Mouse. I'm not with the
that's a great
controller
point.
in my hand.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
All right. Well, looks like there is something on Magic Bat. I mean, unless T2 is, maybe I mean, unless there's something that's really, really valuable that's not progression. But it's going to be. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Well, all right. Well, good thing we didn't. Again, without the spoiler log, are you coming into Ice Palace to get the powder so we can go get Cane, or are you just trying to wait out to see if you can find that Cane of Samari so you can Icebreaker? I mean, jeez.
Oh no! If you're not in the spoiler log here, you would have cleared Paradox Cave. You would have cleared Hera. Likely, you would have cleared probably. There's a decent chance you would have thought about going. You probably would have gone into Pod at least because you're thinking,
great point. Yeah. Especially Pendant Pod, right? People love Pendant Pod. Progression loves sitting in Pendant Pod.
Yep. I mean. Oof. Wow, that one Fire Rod shot just wanted to like skirt around Cold Stare, but not actually hit him there. But Matt takes him down pretty good there.
Yeah, no, that's actually a really nice job on Matt's side too. Certainly a bit more comfort. Again, he was not in one-hit KO mode. He had 5 hearts, or 4.5 rather, with blue mail, so certainly he could take at least 1 hit. But definitely really
he was in 2-hit KO mode.
Yeah. Hey, that's a luxury in spoiler.
This is huge, yeah. I mean, I'm joking about it, but I mean, the difference between that is, okay, I have to be.
Oh no.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
that's so bad.
Exactly.
Oh,
it's actually Right. Well,
Okay.
he's wasting his fairy. I mean, it's better than like just death warping on the overworld, right? But he probably wanted to save that fairy for a bit later.
Yeah, that's unfortunate there for sure. But I mean, luckily, yeah, I forgot that he had that fairy because for a second there I thought that was a death, and it like taking a death in Paradox Cave. Oh, that just feels terrible. That just feels terrible.
It does, yeah. I mean, for what it's worth, though, he did save the old man, which Matt actually hasn't. So he would have at least been able, and he has a flute, right? So maybe it wouldn't have been, as bad. But I think like mentally, right, like morale-wise, like the fact that tstew even had some earlier deaths in Dark Cross probably it's not helping.
No. I mean, that'd be weighing heavily on my head right now. If I was tstew, it's just like, all right, I took those 2 deaths, and I don't know if he's paying any attention to what's going on here, on the channel here, if he's watching what Matt's doing or anything like that. But
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the nerves would be there for real. The nerves would be real here. Going through this with now 5 hearts here, so well done, tstew.
Yeah. Oh, tstew taking the shortcut to see. Taking extra time to get a lamp. All right, lamp's always nice. We do still have mire to get through, so dark rooms. The dark basement is also, arguably another one of those very difficult places to be. So if you have any sort of illumination, especially probably on tstew's side, a little bit more of a mental comfort. It's certainly nice to see, and it's not going to be as much pressure for like Ganon, right?
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of the trick there for sure. I mean, you being able to just know that you're gonna hit the torch glitch. You don't have to worry about it. You just stand by the torch and just hit the button until it lights. It's
exactly.
It's pretty good. That's much more comfortable than the oh god, I gotta time this fire rod shot exactly right. Oh no, I was like 0.05 seconds off, and now I don't have it.
I mean, people have lost races in Phase 4, like, because of Torch Glitch, which actually, is quite heartbreaking, so...
I mean, shout out to Maniacal there and his ridiculous Kaz Boots ladder race the other day, where if he had...
It was 49? Oh, no, would have been 49, right?
It would have been 49 if he had hit the Fire Rod Torch Glitch, and he sent a he sent a picture of how much he missed it by, and he literally missed it by, I want to say, 4 or 5 pixels.
That's so ridiculous, And and again, right? Like, especially if you're going quote unquote like on pace, right? Like when are you, inside, Ganon for Phase 4 at like the at the 40 some minute mark of all times, right? You're yeah.
So I'm guessing here, Claire Mouse, that we're looking for bombos. Does that seem like it's probably an accurate guess?
Yeah, I think so. Looking at the tracker, I think that is the only item that we're actually we still don't know where it is at this point. I think so. We do actually know where 3 of the swords are. tstew got the one off of Rescue the Old Man. Oh my gosh, that sucks.
It's going well. This is going well.
All right, everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Yep.
Yeah. tstew definitely, very being a bit extra cautious. He doesn't want anything to do with the pokies, the chomps. Don't blame him, considering he's gonna fight the chomps for an extra sword. And you see tstew very happy, being able to conquer. Oh my gosh, tstew, dude. Oh my god. Okay, everything's fine. tstew has things under control. He has a powder. I assume he's gonna use it soon. Right, tstew?
I mean, this next room, well, not this next room, but this next room here with the four anti-fairies where you just walk in and just do it real quick. Yeah, I mean, yes, right? No? Okay, bud, sure.
Oh my gosh, tstew, holy cow.
I mean...
well, okay, I guess at least the enemies are dropping some hearts. I don't know if he knew that or that was planned. Certainly quite nice to have.
Yeah, I mean that's the way you want it, right? For sure. Jeez.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
All right, okay,
it
we're
just
gonna.
goes back to what we were talking about before. You gotta know yourself. You gotta know, like to us, we're watching that going like, oh god, oh god, oh god. But for T-Stu, he's probably like, yeah, I'm fine. This is fine. I don't know what's
Yeah,
everyone complaining about.
yeah. All right, Matt picking up his temper sword. Actually, so very interesting. Same temper sword, same fighter sword, different master swords for these runners. Of course, Matt, very familiar with NMG. He dealing with the chomps. Did that room quite well.
Yeah, the Chomps didn't try to attack him or block the switch or anything. So that there you go, and there we go. There's
Oh,
Bombos.
there is
So
Bombos. Right.
we are now officially in go mode, even though we've been in go mode because I mean, hey,
Yeah.
we had the spoiler log. Matt getting a little bit better pokey placement there. He was able to get a dash off out of that room where T-Stu had to just kind of sit there and eat the bunny beam and go on. But so a little bit of time saved over on Matt's side, and that was pure RNG. So
Yeah, and I think like Matt also is again. I think he's playing with a certain probably level of like higher comfort than T-Stu is. T-Stu there was he was on one heart. It probably didn't want to touch anything. Matt, I think probably could have taken like one hit or something, right? The fact that he had blue mail. So again, just like that part of the mental, like I don't have to worry about dying. Certainly can play quite a big part.
yeah, it's just walking through Turtle Rock right now. With T-Stu on 4 hearts like this, it's just like almost everything will kill him.
Yep. Yep.
It's just where it is. It's constant state of just oh god.
Yeah, and even though, so right, so for what it's worth, I guess T-Stu at least is on 5 hearts now. So so he can take one hit from oh my god, Trinex. All right, everything's fine. Everything's fine. We got a little bit of ice on the ground. It's still good. It's still good. Oh my gosh, how did he not get hurt?
Move, just move, man.
All right. Okay. Well. All right. So phase 1 down. So phase 2 hopefully will be a little bit safer. He can take one hit. Matt, I assume he's going to. I don't know. Well, he'll pick up the heart, so he can at least take one hit to Trinex. So hopefully he'll have also just a just a safe fight.
All right. Well, yeah. Trinex down. So it's gonna be. We're gonna look here in just a minute. We're gonna have Matt take his turn here, and then what are we looking at here? So we got a mire fight for both sides, but T-Stu's got to get desert in there, and we've also got to make a dip into the swamp. So we're gonna have a lot of water around us here in about a second.
Yeah, it's almost kind of like like Mario, right? Like we're going to like desert world, and then we're gonna go to like water world. Just it's just going through the levels.
I mean, Nintendo's got a pattern, right?
Yeah, exactly. All right, T-Stu, thankfully, is giving himself and us, I think, a bit more mental comfort. Picking up a potion, so he at least has some safety. Very interesting, I think, for his route, though. So Matt ended up taking, it looks like, actually, some potential double dips, right? He double dipped Kakariko, at the very beginning in efforts to get the fire rod of the hook shot. He went into desert early, so he's gonna double dip the Desert Palace Mire area. T-Stu, on the other hand, I think tried to put things off, and just tried to go to one era like exactly once. So kind of made a very interesting divergence.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And to be fair, I think Matt played safer in that way a little bit, because probably the biggest divergence between these two at the moment is purely in the from that Dark Cross fiasco that T-Stu had there at the beginning, where things just kind of went sideways, and there's not a whole lot he could have done with it with the things that he currently had. Right, he had a hammer. That's about it.
Yeah, he had hammer. You know, I don't know if it's harmful or helpful. Like he had a couple bombs, I guess. But it's like bombs can kind of tell you or help you to kind of show you where you are. But at the same time, he was also only on 3 hearts. So you know,
Yeah.
bombs when they explode, they kind of hurt.
Well, that's the
So.
thing with enemies that you can't see, and ooh, that was a
Mhm.
pretty mire too. From
Oh
honestly,
yeah.
from both sides, both of these guys are just showing off at
They're
this
so
point.
good at execution. I mean, you know, and right, you know, talk about of course Matt being an extremely talented NMG runner, right? Has 124. I don't actually know how much tstew runs in MG, but I mean, you look at his execution, right? You know, tstew. There's a reason why he always finishes, and you know, like he has top placements in ladder, he has top placements like cross keys, tournaments. Like, you know, there's a reason why he's here.
Yeah, yeah, no. I mean, like tstew is ridiculously good at this game as well, and it's just like he maybe he's not as celebrated, as decorated as Matt is at the moment,
Mhm.
but
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
That's a great word. At the moment, exactly.
yeah, at the moment, give him time. Give him time.
Yeah.
He's gonna get something probably at some point. There is oh no, Spooky went
No.
sideways here, and
Uh-oh.
we're gonna feel sad about that.
Okay,
Oh wait,
well, I don't know what happened. Maybe he just didn't hit the anti-fairy?
okay.
Yeah, sounds good, you know. Oh no, he got beamed though. Didn't quite fire the fire rod to hit the torch. Looked like he ended up getting one of those little blobs things at the end. But so again, cost him a little bit of time, but probably nothing too worried about.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out exactly how that worked right now. I was just like, no. I mean, maybe he didn't walk up high enough there on the when he shot his things there. Is got himself into a kind of a hairy situation there with our good friend Vitreous, but takes him down, no problem there. Still on, as always, for tstew. We probably should just make this as a refrain at this point. He was on one-hit KO mode again.
Yeah, it's like a, you know, we're at the chorus part of the song, right?
Somebody want to
Matt!
point out to Matt that he's got silver arrows?
You know,
Somebody
maybe
want
he
to.
was just like, you know what, maybe he just like autopilot into NMG mode. Not quite the amount of health that he probably normally has in NMG, but you know, that's why we have armor. That's why we have health.
Yeah.
Mhm.
tstew gonna go ahead. He's gonna pick up the gold sword there. So I mean, hey, if you're gonna get a, you're gonna get a
Very interesting. Very interesting pickup,
one-on-one
in
on
my
that.
opinion. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I mean, like you know, again, like that sword, right, is like so easy to go get, right? It's probably you know, it's like what 5 seconds at most, right? In order to go get. Just not actually sure what the what the major benefits would be, because like I guess if you want to slash at landmost, that's also fine. Might not help you so much in swamp, and then I'm not sure how much of a difference I guess it's gonna make in like GT. But yeah, looking at, I guess, like the differences, right? Matt's gonna make his way into Swamp Palace, and I think looks like it's pretty much about the back of desert that tstew has to make up over Matt.
Yeah, something like that. It's not a lot. Like it seems like he should be there pretty soon. I would say, but we're gonna have to see exactly, because with Back of Desert's not a long dungeon by any means, but it does take a little bit of time. But yeah, we'll have to see here.
Yeah. I'm actually trying to think back to maybe, yeah, you know, like, so right, kind of like the major differences, at least, you know, for Matt versus tstew, especially early on. tstew did, unfortunately, you know, was pretty, okay, good for him on being aggressive, in the early game, but just kind of unfortunate that, you know, because of his high risk, high reward, it was a bit more punishing, because tstew, unfortunately, took a little bit of extra time in order to get Quick Medallion out of Dark Cross. But, I mean, honestly, like, it seems like he was just able to combine a lot of like overworld travel, right? Visiting, you know, Kakariko once, visiting Desert Mire once, right? Route actually is, I think, is pretty efficient.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and he's benefited a little bit from Matt having that just moment in in Ice Palace where unfortunately he ran out of bombs.
Oh
But
yeah,
eh,
yeah.
you know.
That's right.
So I mean, it has come back together. Matt, I think, has pulled a little, still be a little ahead. All things considered, if they'd played evenly at this point, just I think he's been a touch cleaner through most of his fights. It's been very close though. So either way, you can't really argue with either of the two runners' executions here.
Oh, yeah, no, that's definitely true. And I really want to actually give props to tstew to the fact that, again, right, high pressure situation, early deaths, mid-game death, any type of where things go wrong, like, it can really set the tone in a very negative way for the rest of the game. And tstew has just basically just plowed on through, right? Mentally, I think he's doing quite well.
Yeah, I mean that's actually really impressive, honestly, because I mean you took 2 deaths at the word go from in Dark Cross of all places, right? That's not a fun place to take a death. It's really hard to get back there. It's annoying to get back there. You don't really want to do it. And then you take 2 deaths there while you're racing someone the caliber of Matt on the other side,
exactly.
right? Like, keeping your head together, not getting crazy tilted from that moment on is remarkable, honestly.
Although, talking about, remarkable. So that was a really fast fight, Vitreous on Matt's side. That's 7 that's 7 crystals. We're going to GT.
All right, so I guess if anybody's got a guess for where you're gonna find this GT Big Key today, go ahead and write in a room, please. If you want to throw in a number here, numbers aren't gonna mean anything because the number is gonna be like maximum of 4.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, depending on where that big key is, right? We're gonna maybe need a small key, or something like that. Yeah. I would also like to say the Dead Rocks very much cooperated. Matt, his former league team being, Waffle House drive-through, I think he demonstrated that screen quite well.
Yeah, no, I mean that's a kind of a nice thing right there, is when you can just go ahead and blast right through and not have to worry about the Dead Rocks at all, because they're just ignoring him right now. How do I get that kind of luck?
I know exactly, right? It's like Matt is like the Dead Rock Whisperer. we need to know his secrets.
We can ask him here in probably about another, I don't know. What are we gonna call here? 7-ish minutes?
7-ish minutes sounds pretty good. Yeah. So we got basically all of the GT climb for sure. Depending on where the big key is, could take a little bit more time in the basement, and then I think we just got Ganon. And I think for what it's worth, so Matt has 6 hearts going into the gauntlet. He's got blue mail. He also still has his fairy in a bottle, so safety-wise, I think he's doing pretty good. Always really great, to see kind of, especially at the end game, you're probably pretty, well, maybe not the general you, but, these guys are probably good with, 6 hearts, 7 hearts, and blue mail.
Yeah, but I mean, ooh boy. Okay, say it with me again. tstew is into one-hit KO mode again.
Oh my gosh! All right. You know what? We always really like we like it when you do the choir, do the refrain, do the singing.
Jeez, man, he's been running like I granted I know it's spoiler, right? Like, you're gonna be in one-hit KO mode quite often, but man, he has been in it at some very terrifying times there. I mean, you're like, oh, Vargas isn't dangerous. He's dangerous. Trust me, everybody's died to it, and it feels really bad.
Did you see how close he was to the big eye? Like that's too hard. Yeah.
Yes. that's why I started talking there.
Matt, I guess really wanted the extra rupee, because 44 rupees just looked absolutely terrible. I don't know. Maybe he's superstitious. He didn't want all 4s or something in his rupee counts.
I'm more concerned about his small key count right now.
Also good points.
He's got 0, so if he's got, for him, I imagine there's a small key back here, possibly, or I'm not sure, or maybe there's just one in Hope Room, and that's all we just need to think about there.
Yeah, I know, it's a good question. So, and I guess, we did go right side, or so we did go left side, very NMG-esque. Especially if it's going to be behind Ice Armos here, very fitting. Meanwhile, the tstew, he is made his way up the mountain. He's gonna also head over to QT. Oh man, even vanilla, even more vanilla. Holy cow!
Okay, well that makes a whole lot of sense right there as we get our big key in the vanilla of the vanilla.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Although I think for what it's worth, the bombs were on they're on the right side as opposed to the left side, because normally I think NFG has you pick up arrows so you can kill these mimics. But Matt's got 16 silver arrows left to go, so I think he should be plenty good for the gauntlet.
What a fairy drop for him! I was sitting there going,
dude.
oh man, Matt's gonna climb this gauntlet on 2 hearts blue mail. And first thing he does when he kills a mimic is get a fairy drop. So, not even a slightest issue.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I mean, hey, if it's working, it's working for sure. So.
I know, right? It's like, we need to know our secrets. He is also a great gamer, getting through Ganon Ball's Z there with a single dash. But it's like he knows how to whisper to the dead rocks, right? He knows how to get fairies when he needs them. Like, man. I guess this is what we gotta do in order to be good at this game.
One quick question for you, Clearmouse. Do you happen to know whose audio we are listening to currently?
I believe this is Matt's. It sounds like it's F-Zero MSU.
I was just going to comment on the excellent soundtrack choice here. Like it's hard not to go through this game like pumped up, and when you're climbing up Ganon's tower and you got these electric guitars like just squealing in the background. It's like, all right, let's freaking do this.
Exactly what you need, right? That little kind of like last, energy boost, right? In order to kind of get you through the rest of this game.
It's good times. Good times for sure. Man, he's just motoring through this here. Just getting through Wizrobe's 1 there. Gonna go dash across this. Luckily, didn't get any sort of nasty lotteries or sub-pixel or getting knocked out of your dashes. But also, man, it's been a really nice, smooth GT here from Matt.
Yeah, it's almost as if he's played this game before on Tempered Sword and Boots. Maybe not Blue Mail per se, but I think once these guys got to Tempered Sword, I think like the comfort level has just like, they're on cruising altitude, right? Basically.
Right. Well, it's that and just go walk across these spikes casually.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all fine.
He's got powder. Yeah, we got powder. Good thing Kane was on bat. A good excuse in order to get a really nice safety.
Okay, yeah, tstew. Something happened in this room. But he's through again. Everything's fine there.
Everything's fine. Yeah.
Everything's always fine. Moldorm's being a jerk there with some super fun patterns in that corner, but finally shows his tail, and Matt decides to take the opportunity to go ahead and take care of him.
I would say that switch room, like with the mimics, like when you first get up to GT, is you start your climb. It's like unless you're playing like a pretty aggressive or like maybe kind of like a mean entrance seed, you're probably always there with like 10 hearts at least, right? So you're just kind of cruising through that room. You're like, I don't care if you take damage, but again, it's spoiler. Spikes also don't care how much armor you have when you're there on 5 hearts.
Yeah.
Probably not the most comforting thing if you were just gonna lose 3 hearts out of it.
Yep.
Oh man. So Matt was expressing his disbelief as to how that energy shot didn't hit Aga. This is a family-friendly stream. Nobody read lips, okay?
Oh no! Don't worry about it. Nobody can speak English here. It's all good.
Exactly. Okay. No worries. I think he was
it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. He was probably thinking about he was thinking about the flute and the duck that is dropping him right by Ganon. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm just gonna say shout-outs right now to that Zyzak over on tstew's side, who somehow managed to dodge every single swipe that tstew threw at him.
Man.
And
doesn't even help.
No, Gold Sword is just like, ha, you're funny. You think I'm useful? You're cute. All right.
Speaking of useful though, man, I think also Landmills maybe were taking lessons from the Zyzak because they also managed to dodge like everything that tstew was throwing at them.
That didn't miss. That silver arrow did not miss. That one hit. Yeah, luckily that one hit. But yeah, the other one that didn't miss. There's no way.
Okay,
That's
so
crazy.
okay, so Matt successfully made it through phases 1 and 2. I think he got the 1-1. I didn't see any extra Ganons, although Matt got pretty dang close to him. I think he took a fire bat to the face, but we're just gonna try and go through the motions. As soon as Ganon decides to stop hitting, we're 4 silver arrows away from Matt claiming victory in the winner's bracket.
Looks like it here is there's one, and ooh, that was almost a nasty little dash back there from Ganon, but that's his 4th silver arrow there into Ganon there. So you're gonna go ahead and get your GGs into chat there for Matt, as he gonna go ahead and cross this line in just a second here with a time of 1:08:29. Subtract 15 minutes from that, and you'll get what he actually finished the seed in, which is what would that be? I got to do math now. 53:29.
I'm gonna leave all the math to you. So and whatever you said, it doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. It's just gonna be right because you know,
okay.
You're exactly.
Math is math. I mean, math is not why anybody has me in here.
Yeah, but GG's Matt. I mean, he ran the seed very, very well. I think you know, you said that at the very beginning, you know, as part of spoiler log, you kind of have to, you know, I guess be honest with yourself, right, and kind of know what you're capable of, what you think you're capable of, especially performing under pressure. And you know, Matt, I think recognized that he maybe didn't want to be as aggressive as tstew, you know, so he went to go get the fire rod, got the hook shot out of Kakariko, and then went back and had a much easier time, right? So it's kind of these, you know, like these decisions, you know, help put Matt, I think, in his comfort zone and really kind of like propelled him, I think, to do very well this scene.
Yeah, it's yeah, I mean, all of that is true for sure. I mean, I think tstew's route, if it had gone the way he had planned it, would have been fantastic. But unfortunately, like subjecting himself to that really early Dark Cross dip, unfortunately, kind of really put him behind the 8 ball, and he had to try to chase the entire time. And chasing in a spoiler race is not a fun time.
Yeah. And right, and you just see actually tstew, you know, he performed quite well under pressure, but yeah, he definitely was still, you know, he had to cut a couple corners, right? I mean, or Matt just was able to, you know, kind of take advantage maybe more of his lead. You know, got the blue mail out of Desert Palace big chest. Certainly, you know, helped him a bit, but tstew definitely didn't have that luxury. And you know, as a consequence, he didn't die. You know, for completely to his credit. It's just that watching him on green mail, you know, 4 hearts or whatever, you know, through the entire game is, you know, it's a bit scary.
It was fun, and I mean, we're kind of like this Ganon fight. Also, a bit scary here.
Okay, you know what? You know, tstew is just keeping sync. You know, with all the other boss fights he's been through. You know, how can we fight a boss if we're not in one hit KO? That
is a good point here. We got to keep it up with tradition here, because we're gonna work our way through this as we just got to get to phase 4 here. I mean, I would say, very carefully say this, but he's not in huge amounts of danger at the moment.
Yeah. Yep. I will agree.
But you know, you could be in not a whole lot of danger against Ganon, and then have one thing kind of go the wrong way, and then the next thing you know, you're looking up at the lights.
Yeah. Or you're facing down a giant pit, and you're just like, wait.
Wait, what just happened?
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, that is Ganon down for tstew. He ran also one heck of a race. Get your G's on chat for tstew.
Yes, definitely get your GGs in, as he's going to go ahead. He's going to finish with a time of 1:11:53, so that's going to be, what is that, 56:53 there. So yeah, and hopefully we'll be able to talk to both of these guys here in just a moment, because that was a you know, ton of fun there. It's some interesting decisions made by both runners.
Sure. Mm-hmm. let's see in this case if we can get one of both of these guys in for yeah, as you said, for a chat.
Yeah, ton of fun for on both sides, definitely. Early divergence all across the way. Just a whole lot of good times there. As we're now joined in the booth here by Matt7898. There, GG's bud.
Yo,
Hey.
GG's Matt.
Thanks, guys.
So we're very happy about the cam, by the way. Really cool to see you, especially, we definitely got some great expressions out of you. I did see that you were very enthusiastic about, let's say, using Quake in Thieves Town.
Yeah. I sometimes forget that it's there, and yeah, that was embarrassing. Few embarrassing moments in this one, but it is what it is.
So I guess, yeah, so Days and I were actually kind of talking about a little bit earlier, where I guess maybe do you want to like walk us through your initial thoughts about like the route of the scene? We're also joined by tstew. GG's tstew.
Yo, geez, dude. So, like, I don't know, the early route was kind of weird. There was no easy way to get bombs at all, and you had to make your way to Hookshot Cave. So I was like, well, I might as well just farm the bushes and then grab the hookshot and use that in or not hookshot cave, mini Moldorm Cave, and then that way I'll have a fire rod to light up Dark Cross. I don't know if that was the best way to do it. It's just I just really there was really no good bombs to get, in my opinion.
Yeah, I just did Houlihan. I didn't see anything better. I think getting the early hookshot early doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense too.
Yeah, actually, yeah. So for early game, it was actually quite the divergence between you two, right? So Matt, it looks like maybe you made the conscious decision to go get like Fire Rod and Hookshot before Dark Cross. And I think for tstew, I think you just dove straight in into basically Hyrule Castle with like just only the hammer. And yeah, you mentioned Houlihaning. So actually, and I think actually kind of like I think if you had gotten like Dark Cross, I guess, like you were successful in getting the Quick Medallion maybe the first or second time, it certainly would have been like a very, very, very close race, as opposed to like just the close race that we had.
Yeah, I suck at dark rooms. it's really embarrassing. So that's why I was like, I just need the hookshot for this, so I don't die.
And to be fair, that's a difficult room to try to go through there, especially when you're just doing with a hammer. It's and 3 hearts. You're asking yourself to just kind of not get hit by the snakes, and you can't see them. So good luck with that, right?
Yeah, even when I was in there, I got knocked above the gap, and it really kind of throws you off when you get knocked above the gap because you're like, I thought I got boosted down, and now I'm at the top of the room. I was like, okay, whatever.
I mean, either way, it ended up working at the end there. Now, I one of the things I wanted to ask you there, Matt, was when you went into Desert Palace, were you paying attention to where tstew was in the stream or anything like that at the time? Because you actually went to pick up the blue mail. Now, was that a I'm ahead sort of a play, or was that a I'm just gonna get this anyway?
No, I didn't look at the stream until after I messed up in Ice Palace. So I looked at it for the first time in TR, and I didn't realize he hadn't finished Desert, so I actually thought I was behind, and I was trying to catch up. It wasn't until I checked again in Swamp that I realized I was actually ahead. So I was planning to get that blue mail anyway. It was kind of a low percent seed, and that blue mail wasn't that costly. There was actually, I think, another one in Mimic Cave that might have been a bit better. I wasn't sure because I know I was doing an Ice Palace, and I initially had Eastern routed in later, so I wasn't gonna have that half magic. But then I was like, this is stupid. I'm going to get the half magic because there's no difference in going to Eastern now or later. And then I already read it in the blue mail, and I don't know. Once I write it on the notepad, I go to where the item is because I don't think. I just go when the race starts. So
That's fair.
that's kind of what happened there.
And T-Stew on the other side, you went and got that sword from Uncle there. Now we got to see that there was also the sword on. So you ended up with finishing up with Butter Sword there. Was there any kind of thought process behind going and saving the Uncle there versus maybe just finishing at Tempered Sword?
Yeah, I just wanted that sword for Ice Palace and TR. I didn't really want to do Desert yet, so I just wanted to get that sword.
You had a heck of a Colster fight. I mean, I don't actually know how much you used the Master Sword, because I think I don't know, you used it for beams for the first stage, but then like your second stage to kill Colster was quite good with the Fire Rod.
Some hilarious splash damage.
Oh yeah. I guess like overall thoughts about maybe like the difficulty, I guess, of the sea. Maybe like especially given that the previous, I don't know, like 2 or 3 spoiler seas for this bracket has been pretty pretty unkind.
I mean, this is about as free as it gets, except for the beginning. I guess if you like the very beginning, but like you get a free fairy in a bottle, like a few heart containers. There weren't that many, honestly, and a couple of them were kind of out of the way. But getting that fairy in a bottle for free basically is kind of makes it a little easier. The swords weren't too bad. Early boots, I can't complain too much.
Yeah, the only scary part for me was really like ice. Just I was on 4 hearts at that point, so it wasn't that easy.
Oh yeah, Tisu, you gave us you kept us on the edge of our seat the entire yeah, right. So for I guess for some context, right? So Matt, I think when you went to Hyrule Castle, you got the heart container out of Secret Passage, right? And a couple of extra magic containers, decanters, and Tisu did not do that, and he also didn't get blue mail, so he was like on a less than 1-hit KO mode pretty much the whole time.
Okay, the scene plays a little differently if you don't get those things. Okay, fair enough. It's a little bit tougher in that case, for sure.
Yeah, I was planning on getting that heart, but I kind of just forgot it was a thing until, like, I was at, like, Thieves Town, and I was like, wait, wasn't I supposed to have another heart by now?
Yeah, the only reason I got it was to get magic to light up the dark rooms, but then I've just remembered that I was like, oh yeah, I've gone to Mini Molten Cave already. I can just get the tree pole instead. If I had remembered that, I wouldn't have got the heart. I would have done the tree pole to get the magic.
Yeah, no, we spent the entire. I spent half the seed just every time that that you went into a boss fight. T-Stew, I was just like, and he's in 1-hit KO mode again.
Yeah, Matt on the hand, I mean, you planned it out, I think, for yourself, right? To have a little bit of a buffer. Your boss fights looked, looked very clean, looked almost kind of comfy, honestly. Except for Vitreous. Please don't do that again.
Yeah, I kind of lost my mind there. I don't know what I was thinking. I shot a silver arrow and it was like laggy. I should have just slashed both the eyes. I did fairy in a bottle, so I really didn't care. But it was, yeah, a little scary at times.
Mm-hmm. Right, so I think in terms of next stage of the bracket, so this is a double elimination, but it is best of 1. So it looks like, Matt, you're gonna face the winner of 2C and Gamma. Thoughts? You might have actually mentioned maybe a slight preference in your podcast episode.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's a preference. I mean, they're both very good. Like Gamma is kind of new to spoiler and is just playing super well, and 2C played really well in the qualifiers from what it looks like. So I mean, everybody's good, especially this part of the bracket. Like the 8 of us up here on this app are like, it's like ridiculous. Like all the 124 runners on the same side is like,
oh really?
Yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah, and I think T-Stew, you'll be facing, I guess, like the loser of 2C and Gamma. Any thoughts about maybe a potential preference or thoughts about your opponent?
I don't really have a preference. I think I'm probably the underdog to either of them. I definitely think that Matt had the execution advantage on me, so I was trying to play a bit risky. It just didn't work out that well.
Yeah, I think for what it's worth, like, I guess maybe in terms of routing, like, if you maybe had like you only single dip areas where I think Matt like you went into like Kakariko twice, right? You know, first time for Fire Rod and Hookshot, second time for like all the Village of Outcast stuff. Versus like first time going to Desert Palace, going back to Mire later. I think versus UT Stu, you just did everything basically in one go. So I mean, I think maybe like again, like your route's definitely more aggressive, but I think maybe if it if it paid off, like it might have been actually a little bit more efficient. So, but certainly, again, this is spoiler, so I think you did quite well for yourself.
And I guess with that, guys, is there anything else you want to add here before we shut this guy down for the night, or anything you want to add?
Thanks a lot, guys, for the commentary. GG's again, T-Stew. And next time I'll go into Ice Palace with more bombs. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, GG's, Matt. Good luck.
Thanks, dude. Good luck to you, too.
Yeah, and thank you so much, guys. I mean, like this was one heck of a race. I think you guys did quite well. But I mean, this is a spoiler. High pressure situations. I think you guys performed very well. So thank you so much. And something best of luck to both of you in brackets. So certainly, Matt being you being in the winner's side, got a little bit of a breathing room. Although your next opponent potentially is not is not super friendly. These two certainly best of luck staying in this competition. I want to thank our awesome tracker tonight, Lady Laura Linda. She has done an awesome job basically picking every single thing. Everything in spoiler hits hard and fast, just like to our runners, but also to our trackers, because there's no downtime. All of the items just keep coming, so she's awesome.
Yeah, and I'd say the same thing. Lady Laura Linda, big shout outs here. Probably one of the best trackers we got around. I will say to anybody else, if you're looking, SpeedGaming is definitely always looking for volunteers right now, because there is a lot going on right now, especially with SpeedGaming Live happening. So if you're interested in anything there, you go ahead and follow some of those links there in the chat right now, and we can help you get set up with everything there as far as volunteering, especially with tracking, or if you want to do clear mouses in my job here, you can do that too. This is purely volunteer basis here. Fiesel does not pay me, even though I have asked. No, I have not asked.
Oh.
I'm joking.
I was like, wow, wait, what do we get for that?
Rick, give me some. No, Rick, I want a piece of candy. No.
No, this is so much fun. Yeah, of course. Thank you so much, Days. It's always a pleasure to being able to commentate with you.
I'd say the same thing to you, Claire Mouse. Yeah. Thanks for poking me and saying, hey, you want to come do this race? And I was like, yes, I do.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So definitely looking forward to other, future races. As you said, Stays, like many things are going on. SGL, I think it's just at least the online portion is in the thick of it. Lots of qualifiers and brackets going on. For spoiler, at least one more on the schedule for tomorrow afternoon, 2:15 Eastern, is Telethar versus Humbug. Again, very, very scary people, but also should be a very good race to watch. Of course, and the T2C versus Gamma. So I think both Matt's and T2's opponents. They haven't scheduled yet, but hopefully that'll be on the docket soon. But I guess until then, have a good rest of the evening or morning for you, Days, and have a good rest of the day.